few hours after dissolving the board of directors governing Polaris Bank, Union Bank, and Keystone Bank, the Central Bank of Nigeria has appointed new CEOs and executive directors to oversee the affairs of those banks. In a statement signed by the acting director of corporate communications, Sidi Hakama, released today, the appointment takes immediate effect. According to the statement, Yetunde Onid, first female CEO of the Standard Chartered Bank in Sierra Leone, was appointed as the chief executive officer of Union Bank, while Mania Ovali Ringium was selected as executive director of the Tier 2 bank. Also, in transportation news, the Nigerian Railway Corporation is earmarking 600 million naira to construct police stations along its standard gauge corridors. The company's operations and financial performance have been hampered by the concerning insecurity issues. Let's get to Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu, who we're happy to have to discuss these pressing matters. Chika, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Chika, banks are your fields, so what do you make of this? First, this is the pressing question. Is this a takeover of those three banks, or because some have said no, it's not, it's just a change in management? Please tell us what your thoughts are and what's been going on.
Okay, there's still some fogginess around the CBN actions.
Yeah.
But let me put it this way, and then just for our viewers, that I remember when Central Bank struck in First Bank and removed the board and at the time, and I had to come on air, and I said, the interesting thing is that the Central Bank of Nigeria has near absolute power in the control and management of the financial system, and they can do anything in the interest of the financial stability, of the whole financial system. Overall, that interest, and you have to respect the fact that they always act in the interest of the overall financial system. Now, why I will try and push, see what along the journey I can address your question.
Yeah.
And then CBN sent out a release, and that said that there were provisions of they breached provisions, some provisions. 2FC says, follow me, the bank fails to fulfill or comply with any condition subject to which the license was granted. That is not specific, it's subject to determination. Now, the next one is 12F, involved in a situation, circumstance, action or inaction, which constitutes a threat to financial stability. You see what the thing I talked about before?
Yes.
You see again, this is,
it's murky.
Murky.
Yeah.
It's subject to determination.
Yeah.
Now, G says, first to comply with any obligation imposed upon it or by under this act or by Central Bank of Nigeria, any other rule, regulations, guidelines or directive made under. Again, that. The last one is the one that's a bit, you can actually say they comply with or they didn't comply. And I will stretch it a little further. It's in the opinion of the bank, that Central Bank, critically undercapitalized, with capital adequacy ratio below the prudential minimum, and such other ratio as maybe they prescribe.
Okay.
Do you understand? That is a bit specific.
Yeah.
The ones I've told about is like a feel, it can be, and okay, put it out there to our viewers. We don't have the full basket of the circumstances in each of these banks. But let me start with Polaris Bank, Keystone Bank, for example.
Yeah.
The first thing that we know there is undercapitalized. It's been carrying a negative shareholder fund of more than 200 billion for a long time now, almost about four years now. And that is not the way it's supposed to be. A bank cannot be running with negative capital. So that's enough or sufficient for Central Bank of Nigeria to strike.
Okay.
Now the other things that we know that has come up around the acquisition mechanism or acquisition methodology.
Yeah.
So that is that. Union Bank, we said it from beginning that there was a knowledgeable willing buyer and knowledgeable willing seller.
Yes.
This is a private sale.
Yes.
Our viewers, please note that at the point that Union Bank was sold to Titan, there was no single federal government of Nigeria share in that bank.
Right.
So it was there were two investors who were in Union Bank and who wanted to sell their shares, and Titan people said we were willing to buy.
Yes.
And that was done.
Yes.
Now, again, I don't know privy to full information. Something tells me with my little brain I have that the only reason, or one of the reasons why this may have happened, is that if the consideration, that's the fund that was used in purchasing Union Bank,
yes,
has some question marks around it.
Yeah.
Okay? Then the next one is Polaris.
Yeah.
Again, Polaris, remember, was under AMCON supervision,
Yes.
CBN supervision, and NDI supervision. They supervised the whole process of the sale and everything, and then sold it to new investors who put in a new capital of 50 billion, fund which was acknowledged, and then entered the agreement on how to pay back the 1.3 trillion that. Now, again,
you came on the show to talk about
exactly.
that. Yes, what
so we don't have the full picture again.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. Again, investors are involved. So, but as I told you, CBN quoted about four or five conditions.
Yes.
One is the one that you can measure. The other ones are like subject to CBN, financial stability. And I remember I said it when First Bank, they dissolved the board of First Bank. I said that CBN can do anything under the umbrella of
financial stability.
Yeah. There's, can say corporate governance and that, all those kind of stuff. And so this has happened. And we don't have the facts, as I keep saying.
Right.
Because some of the people have complained that after the special investigator did his work and put a report out, they were not given an opportunity to respond to that.
Right.
To whatever the findings are. But it's not that. We hope that there'll be more clarity down the line. But what I can actually put out there for everybody is this. That the owners of the businesses, or hitherto owners of the businesses, or better still, if Keystone Bank, for example, if the negative share capital was about 200 billion, 300 billion negative, really there was no owner.
Right. Okay, I see where you're going. Okay.
Really, there was no owner.
Yeah.
Because the equity has been
resisted. It's underwater.
Now, if CBN has been writing, recapitalize, and that has not done, it becomes, this is applicable.
Where they step in.
Yes, step in.
Yeah.
Now, but we're also aware that in the banking system now, there are at least 2 banks that have negative capital.
Right.
And CBN has not done anything about it.
Stepped in. Right.
So, and so let them be consistent.
Right.
In the application of these rules, so that we know that it's not like somebody will not be crying and say that we've been unfairly treated.
Right.
But as I was trying to say, I say everybody is, has a recourse to the legal system.
Right.
If you're not being fairly treated in this process, of course, you go back to the legal system. But let it not be the case of, remember the of Savannah Bank. If you remember that, Savannah Bank case was there with Jim Wobodo. It was there for a long time. By the time they won the case finally, that CBN, revoked the license badly.
Yeah.
It was almost 20 years, after. Yeah. And everything about the bank has actually obliterated.
Yeah.
So because the legal system here is on the crawl. So there are a couple of issues, but I have a feeling that we're going to talk about this issue again.
Right.
As the days unfold.
Yeah.
Let's obtain more clarity. Because you asked me a question, is it a takeover or that? As I told you, something like a Keystone Bank that had negative capital, you're going to ask who really owns the bank.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
What's the name? Polaris has been signed off by Central Bank to new owners.
Right.
And their management, they had a plan with CBN, approved by CBN, a recapitalization plan by CBN over a 3-year period. Decisions have been made, investments have been made on that basis. So every CBN is unwinding the whole thing again, as if they didn't participate in the process.
Right.
Even what's the name again? Union Bank, the same thing. But as I said, it has to be that there's an overwhelming criminal or something that has happened
to supersede
override the decision making.
Right.
But overall, we commit that the whole system is stable. Because we don't want the systemic, we don't have a system instability that will cause runs on any of those banks, and which will just, affect the whole system.
Right.
That's basically, I think, what we're going to put out there. But I promise you that we're going to talk more about this as the days unfold.
Chika, that's why we have you on the show, to break these things down. Any quick thoughts on the police stations the NRC wants to build?
It's really a sad commentary because we have been clamoring for the mass let me speak one word. I don't hope it exists. The deployment of railways around the whole country.
Yes, yes.
To ease transportation, to movement of goods and services, to reduce the cost. And then now, and I told you that I've taken that Abuja to Kaduna something. It was first class. It was quality. It was clean. And then again now there's a fear. Remember people were chased away from the road and went to the rail, and the rail became insecure. And I see how is that the month after they resumed, after shutting down, nobody, literally they lost all their passengers. So insecurity is the major, discourager in people, patronizing the railway system in Nigeria. And whatever they have to do that, But you see, we are used to security in Nigeria being the mechanistic. That's why you see our security people carrying long guns and everything and that. Meanwhile, when you see the presence of some other countries being guarded, you don't see people carrying guns and, it's more intellectual, it's more subtle and stuff like that. So I have a feeling that let it be the whole package. I have a feeling that they may not disclose the whole thing, but just building police stations that are not interconnected, like we see in Nigeria. Armed robbery, you have 2 checkpoints nearby, and armed robberies take place between them, and nobody knows because there's no communication, no connectivity, and so on and so forth. But let it be holistic, in the sense that it's not just building the police stations. Let them also have power, because they don't have power, they can't charge their phones and their communication.
They can't call each other.
And they can't call each other, And another tools required to monitor those and there are a lot of technology they can use now to assist, so it doesn't just become the police stations everywhere. Because that can also be very scary and expensive.
All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, we're very grateful for you coming on to come and break these matters down for us. Thank you so much.